Every moment I focus on consciousness, the fear starts to disperse. Every time I focus on consciousness, I'm changing my world. It's the only real thing you can do. It's like if you're thirsty, you have to drink water. That's it. At some point, you have to drink water. Yeah, you might drink beer, but then you feel more thirsty. And it's the same with consciousness. You do this, I feel a bit better. Oh, I'll do this, I feel a bit better. But if you want to quench the thirst of suffering, if you want to drown it, you have to focus on consciousness, or else it will continue.
I want to ask you and tell you that since a while ago, I had an experience with my mother, and it was different to others. She was sick, and I always unify at night, and I started feeling that sharing with her different. It was very magical and wonderful. And after a while, I saw that walking in me, it was the faith. I remember it was a seminar in Madrid that Marisa and Jaldana did. And the gratitude I felt took me there. I want to ask you, what is for you the faith?
You know, it's an interesting thing. When you start to expand consciousness, you start to experience your divinity. And it's not like an idea of God or what God is. It's this experience. And people that aren't very religious start to have this experience, as well as people that are religious, obviously. But it's like you feel it. And the more you expand consciousness, the closer you feel to God. And because this is the truth. You are cultivating God. You're cultivating unity. You're cultivating unconditional love. And you start to believe in that. What name you put to that is in your hands. But it gives you an enormous sense of security. But it's coming from an experience. It's not an idea. You know, I teach this to nuns and monks and everyone. And even they that have a strong faith start to have these big experiences permanently. Because it's experimental. And we can experience that. We can experience unconditional love all the time. We can experience that connection. We can experience that fearlessness and trust. Because it's within us. We are that. It's everywhere. Okay, and this is why I keep saying as I change, the world changes. Because I start to experience something new. And that's my true essence. The essence I experienced when I was a child. That essence that I lost. That security I lost. That innocence. That truth. That wonderment. It's in us. And it starts to emerge.
Hi, Isha. I'm Analia. I want to ask you how to do to let go of a need of changing the other. Since many years ago, I'm with my husband. He has a chronic disease, and his health is worse and worse, and I'm very afraid something is going to happen. In some moments, I want to run away of a situation. I want even to separate. And some other times, I get lost in him, wanting to save him. I lose myself in that. And the despair is big, and I don't know how to do to let go of the need to change him.
You know, the thing is you have to expand your consciousness and just surrender. You know, you have to surrender to this situation because you can't change it. And you can't fight with it. And you can't leave it. So what do? You have to love it. You have to surrender to it. You have to embrace each moment as if it's something precious and be the best of you in that moment. Because you don't know how long the moments are. Is it like that? You don't know. So you have to give everything. Get lost in it, in the giving, in the unconditionality. But not because you want to change him, because you want to love him.
I want to ask you something. All human beings have a consciousness in this planet. Aparentemente sí. But they don't know it. But the suffering people believes in it, and they believe that will take to a fight, no? Many leaders fight from suffering, but all of them have a consciousness. Why the majority chooses to believe in suffering?
You know, people are asleep. It's like Jesus said, forgive them, Father. They don't know what they do. Why? Because we live in ignorance. We don't even know what loving ourselves is. It's a process. And some people are highly intelligent, and they get the process from the beginning. Some people go through lots of suffering and never get the process. Some people go through suffering, get the process. Some people succeed, feel empty, get the process. Humans are always coming home. It's not that they don't, it's who they are. It's inevitable. But within this illusion of duality, there's extremes. There's extreme love, there's extreme violence, there's extreme everything. And it's all painting this landscape. But at some moment, everyone gets a call. Everyone. Whether they listen is another thing. Whether they choose to be different, if they have the power to stand alone, to do something completely different, it's up to each person. But it's not that it's not there or it's not available. You know, this is the joy of the middle class experience. Because you get everything, and then you go, and I did everything I was meant to do. I went to school, then I went to university, then I got a career, then I made money, then I made babies, then I did this, then I did that. There's still something. Some people are trying to eat. They're not so focused on consciousness. But they could be. It just depends. But intelligent people, in this day and age, realize there's something more. There's so much information. It's so easy to access. And everyone in the world, even the poorest people, have telephones. It's incredible. Everyone has a bloody telephone. Everyone has internet. You know, it's incredible. People have the capacity to change whenever they want. So there's no victims, there's no limitation. It's the wanting. Does that answer your question? Yeah.
I have in the meniscal a problem. Meniscal syndrome. Started a few months ago after a fall that I dismissed.
The syndrome. The syndrome is you need to take it out. Well, I'm rehabbing to avoid surgery. To avoid surgery.
I came fine. And I was so happy, I went up and down, and I started inflaming. I have questions with myself. What happens with my body? I give too much on the outside, towards the outside, no? And today, at this point in my life, today is 15 months that my older sister died. And since then, first I had a damage in the leg, then the fall, the consequence is this. And if I want to do something else for the others, the body tells me, not till here you got. I cannot do it. And there is my question. Why? What's happening with my body? What's going on with me?
You know the answer. You just told me. You have to stop. You have to look after yourself. You have to heal you. You have to take out your menisco and not take any drugs and lay in bed for a couple of weeks. That's what you need to do. You need to be more loving with you. Why are you running away from yourself? Because why are you not happy with you? Why are you not the most important thing? As you expand your consciousness, this will start to change.
Okay. So my knee is talking to me once again.
Everything's talking to
Todo
you.
te está hablando.
Me too.
Yo también.
I couldn't hear your knee. Hang on.
Tu rodilla no la escuché, pero...
You have to take out the menisco.
Tienes que sacarte el menisco.
And stop.
Y parar.
Because you need to go deep.
Porque necesitas ir profundo.
You're abandoning yourself.
Porque te estás abandonando.
And as a consequence,
y como consecuencia,
you've abandoned me.
Me abandonaste a mí.
Yeah,
dice la rodilla. Hola. What do you do with a son of 22 years old that is indignated since the dad died and he mistreats me? He's furious. I don't know how to relate to him. He explodes for everything.
It's hard, no? Because he doesn't know how to express. He doesn't know how to let this go. But now you know. Maybe you can show him. But at least you know he's just projecting onto you. And you just need to feel what's happening for you. And as you change, he'll start to change. You know now you have to scream in a pillow. You know now you have to connect with your feelings. So you're going to start changing. And he'll change. Because he doesn't know what to do. He's just taking it out with you because you're the only one he can do it with. And you have to not allow it to affect you by moving it. Every time he projects onto you, how do I feel? Oh, I feel sad. Connect with the sadness. How do I feel? Oh, I'm sick of him. Go to the bedroom. Move the stress. You just keep moving. He's looking for a reaction from you too. There's something there, no? Because he doesn't know what to do. Yeah? Hard, no? All these complications. This is going to help you so much. Really. You have to feel everything. And move everything. And when you go home too.
Hola. Today in the witnessing, it was a spectacular.
Did you see the whale? Oh, you must have had your eyes closed. Did any of you see the whale? Oh, you must have had your eyes closed. I should have said something. Go on, continue.
I felt a strong energy in my chest, especially. And I want to know, for you to explain a little bit more the energy when we are unifying, and how is that process?
You know, the energy's always there. But when we're focused in the moment, and we're going deeper and deeper and deeper, it starts to open, no? Because all the chakras start to open, you're just focused in consciousness, but it's always there. But when you focus so intently, or intensity, it becomes very, very strong. Because, for example, when I walk around, I'm always in that energy. You know, I live wrapped in a blanket. But when I come in here, the blanket opens, no? Okay, but I can't walk around like that. I can't be in high intensity all the time. And it's like you guys, you go there and you have a nice experience, and then you start to focus and everything starts to open, yeah? And it's just you. It's just you.
You're always talking about the giving from a place that is consciousness, that is the real nature of consciousness. I see myself after a process and so long in the system that many times the giving doesn't come from an unconditionality. It's always certain control or certain expectation. And I have that situation where I remain feeling if I give or not, as my intellect comes in and starts doing that equation, if I'm giving or not. Can you talk about that, the unconditionality of giving?
To give has to come from your heart. Not obligatory. because you feel like a bad person if you don't. Don't compromise. But the thing is, the more you focus on consciousness, you feel abundant and you naturally start to give. But sometimes to give is to say no. That's still giving. You know, it doesn't look a certain way. Giving can be sweet or it can be a strong shake. That can be giving too. But it has to come from here. And it has to come from clarity. Now, if you're the sort of person that gives and gives and gives and gives and always abandons yourself and end up feeling resented, stop. Don't do that. If you're a person that doesn't give, like you don't like to give, push yourself to give more, to experience that. Because once you learn to give, you also learn to receive. Because people that can't give can't receive. And some people that give so much can't receive either. You think some people take everything, but they don't receive it. It doesn't have any value. It's because nothing is ever enough. Gimme, 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 but I'm empty. And other people give. Oh, I'm exhausted. And I'm resented. There's two people. And then you become conscious. And it comes from here. It's not obligatory. It just comes. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's a no. And sometimes there's a big yes. Normally there's a yes. But first you have to give that to you. You know, you guys have to realize I am the source from which everything flows. Yeah, I'm talking about you, not me. I'm not the source where you flow. You are, I am the source from which everything flows. So it has to be an unlimited spring, like bubbling and abundant and running over. But you have to cultivate that. It has to be there. If you've just got a trickle, what can you give? So firstly, we have to start here. We have to start here. And then it's not, you don't even think. You don't think, oh, did I give? I go to bed every night, I think, did I give today? No, it's just natural. You don't even know you're giving. You don't even notice. Like my teachers, they don't know they're giving. And they never stop. Have you noticed what they're like? They just give. Even Sati, and she's 200 years old. You know. It's incredible.
My question is, till what point, till when we have to move and express? I saw that I arrived the first day and I expressed and I felt lighter. The second day, I went and I moved something deeper and I felt well. And today, it was the whole backpack I released. Till when, and even in some moment, we are going to be able to be so ecologic that we are not creating stress.
You know, the first 12 months, the facets are like sticks of dynamite. They're like, boom, boom, boom. So you're moving. And then It gets worse. No. And then it starts to become more refined. You know, there's a finite amount of physical stress. You know, but then you start refining your experience. So it's not so constant. You're expanded for periods, then you'll have a contraction, then you'll expand, and the process is like that. Okay, but it's in the beginning, if you unify a lot, it's very normal to move a lot. Because you're moving your life. You know, you're moving a lot. We hold stress, but it's incredible how much we can hold. It's impressive how much we can avoid, how much we can deny, how much we can stuff. It's incredible. And we get to here. And we're living out here. And then we wonder why everything starts to collapse. So really, if you're moving a lot of stress, really embrace it and don't judge it, because it will slow down. Yeah. And then you get to a point where it just, you keep expanding.
Hi, my question is about consciousness. When we are too concerned about the situation, is that we are in that moment far from consciousness, and the preoccupation is a synonym of frustration and fear? How to handle the situation? Because usually concern is related to a result, uncertain result, even if we have expectation.
Okay, so the first thing you need to do is be ruthless with the facets. Because we love to suffer. And that is our only addiction. It's our only addiction. Everything that we do is so it brings us back to suffering. But it's not that we're addicted to drinking. It's not that we're addicted to toxic relationships. It's not that we're addicted to doing drugs. It's not that we're addicted to having control. It's not that we're addicted to, I don't know, something else. Sandy news. What we're addicted to is suffering. How do we suffer? We're always out of the moment. Worrying about the future, regretting the past, taking the past into the future. We're never here now. If we're here now, if we're surrendered to the moment, what's wrong? Nothing. If we're fighting with the moment because we want to be right, then there's something wrong. But if we're surrendered to the moment, if we're focused on consciousness, if we're choosing a facet, nothing's wrong. How do we get to this point? Now, this is the thing. That's a process. And that's what the system's for. Because you can't just do it like this. If it was that simple, everyone would come for the weekend and live in La La Landia. It doesn't work like that. Because this is very strong. So we have to remove the stress So that this, and this doesn't have control of us. And we start to live here. When we live here, we can choose. We can choose. That's a program. That doesn't serve. That takes me into suffering. Love creates me in my perfection. Praise love for this moment in its perfection. But when we're here, we can't choose. Because this controls us. And there's fear attached. Because this thinks something, this reacts. And where's the consciousness? Ciao Bella. No, it's not there.